lovely people. It's Miss Berger, and I'm joined by the magnificent
Mr. Lamb, and we're here today to talk about multi-step equations.
Ooh, dun, dun,
Not
dun.
one step, not two-step, multi-step.
More than two. So our learning target is I can solve multi-step equations.
What you mean? It could take me 5 steps to solve for a variable? Yeah.
There are 5 steps.
Yeah, it can solve. It can take up to 5 steps to solve it, depending on the severity of the thing.
Yeah, or more. So when we're doing the steps, right? So we're gonna clear the parentheses using the distributive property. We'll talk about that here in a minute. We're going to combine like terms on each side of the equation. Combine like terms.
What if you have the variable on both sides?
Well, that's okay. That's the next video. And then, so you'll do parentheses, combine like terms. You're going to
move the variable to one side.
Move the variable to one side. Oh, you're so silly. I didn't know that was like Move the variable to one side, and on these ones, they'll be on one side, but the next video they're on both sides. And then we add, subtract, and subtract. Woo. Look at that.
And then finally,
multiply, divide. Whatever is the opposite of what's with the variable, right? What's the opposite of the coefficient?
So we're going to take care of parentheses first, and we're going to do something called the distributive property to do that.
We'll talk about it.
And then we're going to combine like terms. So if you have like 2 different like k's on the same side, you can combine them. So we're going to combine like terms. Variable has to end up on one side, because remember the key point, isolate the variable.
Isolate the variable.
So it can only be on one side if we're going to isolate it. And then we take care of addition and subtraction. Get rid of it so that you can get your little friend by itself. And then multiply or divide. Get rid of those last friends.
That's right. So isolate the variable. That's our job.
I guess the best way to do this is just to show.
Let's just
jump in and show it.
Jump in and show one. All right, so I'm going to do the first one, and I'm going to talk about this whole distributive property scenario. So I have 7 parentheses a minus 3 equals 6 plus 4a plus 15.
Wow, that looks complicated.
Right, it's complicated. It's multi-step. So I'm going to start by getting rid of the parentheses. I do that, right? So I have a 7 on the outside. That means it's being multiplied by the things on the inside. So I'm going to distribute, right? So if we were in class right now, we would hand you out notes, which means everybody gets one. We distribute that 7 to the numbers on the inside. So I'm going to multiply the 2 numbers on the inside by that 7. So 7 times a is 7a. And 7 times negative 3 is negative 21. Equals 6 plus 4a plus 15.
And really, the thing to remember is do one thing at a time and write everything else down.
Yeah.
Show your steps.
Just like orders of operations. So now we're going to combine like terms. Well, I have a variable here with the coefficient and then just the constant. But over here, I have this 6 and then this plus 15. So I'm going to kind of simplify that and combine those terms. So 6 plus 15
oh, I got that
is
21.
21. And then I'm going to bring down that 4a. And it could be 21 plus 4a or 4a plus 21, right? It's called the commutative property of addition. Ooh. And I'm going to bring down that 7a minus 21. Wait, I have variables on both sides.
I was going to
okay.
say that you have variable both sides in more than one of these problems. So now, so let's see what we've done so far. We've taken care of parentheses.
Yeah.
Right? We combine like terms. And it's great, because I'm really kind of glad we have them on both sides. So now we have to get the variable to only one side.
One side. So I like to start with the smaller variable and move it to the bigger one.
Because we like positive numbers.
So it doesn't matter. It doesn't really matter which way you go, but I start with the smaller coefficient. So here's a 4a, and it's positive, so I'm going to subtract 4a from both sides, right? It goes away over here, and I'm going to write in color other than that, blue. And 7a minus 4a is 3a minus 21 equals 21, right?
Excellent.
So now that the variables are all on the left-hand side, I got to get the numbers on the right-hand side.
3 steps down, 2 to go.
That's right. So now I'm going to do the opposite of minus 21, and I'm going to plus 21 to both sides. So now I have 3a equals 42. And I'm so close, I'm running out of room. But that's okay. So now I'm on my last step, right? So I did my add, subtraction, and now it's multiply or divide. So 3a, that's 3 times a.
So all we have to do is the opposite.
So the opposite of times or multiply is divide. So I'm going to divide by 3, divide by 3. And as I bring my answer up here, Mr. Lang, you're going to do that 42 divided by 3 for me.
Oh, I forgot to do that.
Oh, no, I got it right in a different color. So
I think it's 14.
I just like to double check.
I am. It's 14.
It's 14. A is 14. And if you watch, because you should, the Screencastify that's after this one, the video after this one, I show you how to take that answer, substitute it back in, and make sure you're right.
Because really, you should always put it back in, put the 14 here, put the 14 here, and then it's pretty easy because then it's just 14 minus 3 times 7 gives you one side.
Yeah.
And then put it over here and do the same
Right.
thing, but it's really important that you check your answer.
Right, but I show you that in the Desmos calculator. There's a little trick to it.
Yeah.
So make sure you're watching that video also to check your work. All right, let's look at the next one.
Okay, see, this one has
variables
variables on both sides too.
Silly, it's
Oh,
okay.
yeah, it's okay. So, okay, again, we're going to start with parentheses, right? And we're going to use that distributive property. Did you give me something right? Okay, so again, this is just 3 times k.
Distribute.
And 3 times 4. So 3k plus 12 equals, ooh, I have to do the same thing over
Yeah,
here.
we have to distribute
So
over
I'm
there.
going to distribute here and distribute here. Gives us 5k plus 15 plus 1.
That's right. So parentheses gone.
So, okay, I'm taking care of parentheses. Now I know I have to combine like terms. Nothing's alike over here.
No like terms
But
over
there is
there.
something over here. See, these
Right.
two right here are both just constants that are part of the sentence. We can combine them together.
Yeah.
So we're just going to change my, oh, you just
I
changed
did.
my color. Gosh, you're so good.
Yeah.
3k plus 12 equals 5k plus, now this is going to be, I know, you're going to make it like more, okay, here.
Why does it not match?
Okay.
All right. Perfect.
K equals 16. So now I have to get the variable to one side. Now I'm like Miss Berger, but for a different reason. I like to work with my smaller. I don't like negative numbers. So if I can like avoid negative numbers, I do everything I can to avoid them. So I'm going to get rid of this 3k, right? And then to do that, I'm going to have to do it over here too. Okay? So see, I have so much I want to draw my little elevator
You
steps.
can.
It's okay. It's okay. We're doing it
We
your
can do
way.
elevator step.
I know. Okay, so this ends up being, ooh, that really does freak me out. 12 equals, this becomes 2k plus 16.
What is that? I can't even read it. It's fine. What is that K?
She hates the way I write.
I know.
Okay, so now I've taken care of my parentheses. I've combined like terms. Now I've moved the variable to one side. Now I'm going to take care of addition and subtraction. I'm going to get rid of this addition by doing
Subtract
subtraction.
16.
Oh, you're right. We're going to keep running out of board space, aren't we?
I know. We could write it over there. Though.
So we end up here with, now this is 12 minus
Minus
16.
16.
Well, that's more minus than I got.
Right.
So
we're
I'm
going
going
to
to
be
end
in the
up with a
negative.
negative 4
Equals
equals 2k.
Do you want me to
Okay, hold
transfer
on.
it
Here
up
we
here?
go. Look, I made a connection.
Woo! Good
Yeah,
job,
you can
Sonny.
take it
All
up
right,
there.
so if we have negative 4 equals 2k, now what do I do, Mr. Lane?
Oh, now I have to take care of my multiplication and division. In this
Right.
case, my multiplication.
Right, so what's the
I'm going
opposite
to
of
divide
multiply?
both sides.
I'm going to divide both sides
By
by that 2. That goes
Oh,
away.
I'm left with k equals, and a negative divided by a positive is going to give me a negative
Negative
2.
2.
So what I would do next is I would grab my Desmos calculator. I would write this into the sentence, which is the shortcut she's going to show you in the, so you really want to watch that.
Really
because
want to watch
it
it.
saves you, because we used to, before Desmos calculator,
You used to have to
we
plug
used
it
to have
back
to make
in.
a box over here and like do our steps
Yeah.
again to
Again.
plug it in. But all we're going to end up doing is putting a negative 2 here and a negative 2 here. And then the Desmos calculator is going to go, yep, you're right.
Yep, you're a genius. All right, perfect. So watch that next video so you can figure out this Desmos calculator trick and then start that practice. We'll see you later. Love ya.
Bye.